Okay, so I'm gonna make a quick video here on the Explorer LR and talk about some of the, issues in terms of like stock and getting the product and why there's such a long wait and back orders and all that kind of stuff. So this model is very difficult to obtain right now. It's back ordered everywhere, and the reason is that the DJI camera right here is in short supply. And it is part of the Vista system. I know there's a lot of theories out there that it's because the Vista system is out of stock everywhere as well, and that that's a valid reason. But the actual Vista Air unit itself is still available, as you can probably tell. There's plenty of these connected to a Caddx Nebula V2, and those are still available. So the main reason why people are having a hard time getting this model, the DJI model with the Vista system, is because of the DJI camera. So the only reason I'm making this video is because there's a lot of like really wild theories out there as to why the orders are so slow to arrive, and I just wanted to get some accurate information out there. There's going to be some clues as to how long this is going to take before the supply chain issues are going to be sort of resolved, and this is going to also impact the two newer models that are coming out from GipRC, the Baby Crocodile and the iFlight Camera 4. So those are basically like similar models in the same kind of class, like lightweight, and I think they even have the same motors, like 1404 motors with slightly different KV, weight, and all that's going to be kind of similar. I think they also have GPS. And so, these other companies, GipRC and iFlight, they've come out with their own models, but if you look at their product pages, you'll get some clues as to what's going on with the supply chain. And the reason why there's a lot of bad information out there is because I think Flywoo has been quite slow, to say the least, or not very transparent in their communication as to why their orders are so delayed. And I'm not exactly sure what the reasoning is behind that. It's possible that they're just really short-staffed. I do know that they're a very small company. They have only a few people in that company that are able to deal with English-speaking customers. So if you've been sending a lot of emails and trying to get responses from them, there's probably only like one or two people over there that actually can respond to those messages. And basically I don't think they haven't had an answer as to what is going on with the supply chain on the DJI cameras, so they can't really give an accurate response in terms of when orders would ship. So that's kind of a bad on their part. I mean, that's their bad. They really need to be more transparent on that, because without that, lack of transparency, the void gets filled with all kinds of wild theories as to what's going on, and it's just basically because the DJI camera is out of stock. And when this is going to be available is tricky to say. You might get a clue on the iFlight website for the Camera. It does say that the DJI camera version isn't going to ship until at least the end of November. So that's about, from the time of filming this video, it's about 2 months from now. So almost 2 months from now. So, and also another clue is that if you want the Nebula V2 version, that will ship. I think it says it'll ship within 3 days. So there's plenty of the Vista Air units available that are connected to a Nebula V2 camera, just not the DJI camera. So if you're looking for ways to sort of get around this problem, Flywoo has offered a solution where they have an Explorer LR without the Vista, so no Vista Air unit, no camera, so basically no FPV system. I think that's around 150, 60, something like that. And then I believe also GipRC is offering one as well without the FPV system, with no Vista or DJI camera. And what's interesting is also on the GipRC website, the ones that they are building and shipping, they are coming with the Nebula camera, not the DJI camera. So I think at first they were going to come with the DJI camera, but then they realized they had stock problems like Flywoo is having, and now they're just offering it with the Nebula V2. Same with the iFlight model as well. The Nebula V2 is the one that's currently shipping. So one solution is to either get the non-FPV version, or the one with the FPV system in it, and then add your own Vista system to those, either the Flywoo or the GEP-RC, or you have to get the Nebula V2 camera, which I know a lot of you guys don't really like. Okay, so obviously the last solution to get around this problem, if you happen to have obviously your own Vista system, or a system that you could transfer the Vista system over from. So say you have another quad that has Vista on it already, and you want to move it over. That's a fairly, minor. It's not a big deal in terms of moving it over. So if you have another quad that you're not maybe flying as much, you want to have a quad like this, a 4-inch, micro long range quad, then you can just transfer over the Vista from another quad to this one. Like you could do that for the Flywoo version or the one from GEP-RC. And of course, the third solution is to just build one from scratch completely. So I'm going to have a video coming up a little bit later on this frame. You guys have probably seen this on my Instagram. This is the Airblade Mini Transformer, I believe it's called. So unibody bottom plate there, but it's got this sort of unique design. It's a lighter frame than the other ones that are out there that have separated arms. So there's pros and cons to that, of course, a little bit lighter. And that's what I'm going to build with an all-in-one board. Put the Vista in the back there. DJI camera, of course. And again, 1404 motors, just like the other ones that are pre-built. So this is one of the frames you can get. Obviously, you can buy the Baby Crocodile frame, the Flywoo frame, and the Camera frame as well. Those are all available separately. So if you do want to do a complete build, it's fairly straightforward. I mean, I will talk about that when I do this build. Basically, you have an all-in-one flight controller. You have motors. You're going to solder that to the flight controller. You have GPS that goes to the flight controller. Then you have Vista, and that's about it. You mount the camera in the front. So it's in terms of a quad build. If you built quads before, it's really not a big deal in terms of setup and everything. Anyway, so I just wanted to get some information out there, and in terms of like what's going on with the stock situation on these micro long range quads. They're kind of high in demand, and a lot of people are ordering them. And as a result, the DJI Cam is out of stock everywhere. And those look like there's going to be a replenishment of the supply chain until the end of November, based on the information on the iFlight website. So hopefully that'll clear up what you guys want in terms of information on when things will be shipping. And again, as other companies have offered like sort of a workaround. Instead of providing you builds with the DJI camera, they're providing you builds with the Nebula camera. And that's one of the things that people were like, well, why are they giving me the Nebula camera? I want the DJI camera. But if you want to get the pre-built model with the Vista air unit in it, then you kind of have to get the Nebula camera. So there's kind of really no way around that, unless you want to wait until sometime end of November in terms of that time frame. Anyway, hopefully this has been some useful information. Let me know in the comments below if it was, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.